Are you wanting to make a move to Charlotte, North Carolina, but you first have to sell your house in the place you currently live? Or maybe you already live in Charlotte and you need to sell to get into something new. Well, today I'm going to cover 5 upgrades that you need to do prior to putting your house on the market. Now, before I became a real estate agent, I was a stager and also an interior designer. So I'm kind of a triple threat when it comes to that category. So you're not going to want to miss this today. Stick around. We're going there right now. If you're new to the channel, my name is Yadi Karina Jones, and I'm a real estate agent with Lifestyle International Realty here in Charlotte and the surrounding areas. My passion is helping people just like you realize their real estate dreams in the Charlotte metro area. If you're thinking about selling your property or you're thinking about buying one here in Charlotte, North Carolina, I'd love to connect with you. Feel free to reach out to me using any of the contact information below, whether that's a text, email, phone call, or a Zoom meet. I would love to connect with you. Now, if you're not sure about Charlotte, continue checking out this video. And on top of that, go to my channel for more information about what it's like to live, work, and play here in the Queen City, as we affectionately call it. Now, let's find out 5 ways to upgrade your home so that you can get on your way to buying the home of your dreams. Before the pandemic happened, I used to always hear the old adage, buy the worst house in the best neighborhood. But something about the pandemic shifted that, and now people are wanting the best house in the best neighborhood. Let's face it, buyers have expectations. When you exceed those expectations, they typically will place an offer and they're willing to pay top dollar for your home. When you don't meet those expectations or you fall below them, you either don't get an offer or they want a discount. So today I'm going to share 5 ways to upgrade your home to make sure that you attract as many buyers as possible. Most of the buyers that I work with want a move-in ready home, which means the less they have to do, the better off they feel. That being said, the list that I'm going to share today is not exhaustive. You can actually do more or you can do less because ultimately money is finite, energy is finite, and time is finite. So you get to pick and choose which ones you can take on and which ones you can't. I also want to add a disclaimer that if you do have major repairs to do in your home, that those should take precedence over anything that's cosmetic or aesthetic. So if you need a new roof or you need a new HVAC unit, a water heater, anything that costs a significant amount of money, these should be taken on prior to even dealing with any of the ones that I'm going to share. And the reason why is because buyers are smart. They're not going to buy a home that's coming with problems or issues, whether or not it has a beautiful kitchen, whether or not you have amazing curb appeal. If you need a new roof, that's going to deter buyers anyway. So make sure that you take care of those items before you do this list. We often hear that kitchens and bathrooms sell homes. And while that's true, the biggest bang for your buck that you're going to get when it comes to preparing your house for the market is painting. And I'm not just talking about painting a few rooms here and there. I'm talking about painting the entire house. It instantly upgrades your home by making it look refreshed and making it look newer. I do have a couple of tips when it comes to this particular category. The first one being, remove all of your artwork and all of your mirrors and patch up any holes that are behind them. Make sure you spackle and sand those areas nicely to prepare your home for a fresh coat of paint. Now, you can do this yourself if you feel confident in your painting, but of course, if you don't have the time and you don't have the skill set, you can hire a professional. It can get a little costly, up in the thousands, but believe me, this is going to make a huge difference. The other thing is that sometimes when you paint, especially if a home is older, you're going to notice that your doors and your trim work also look dated. So I not only advise you to paint the walls, but if you have an older home, go ahead and have them paint the doors, the trim, the baseboards, all your crown molding, all in a bright semi-gloss white color. This is going to definitely make the walls stand out and just make everything look brighter and newer. You also, while you're doing the painting of this trim, you're probably going to have to caulk, which happens over a number of years. You end up needing to recaulk most of your house. So that's something to consider if you end up painting your trim. The last thing that I want to add about paint is that when you select a color, try to go for something that's in the white family or in the greige family. And greige is simply a combination of a beige or in a gray color. Those are going to be much more appealing to home buyers than going with a full-blown gray or going with a beige. Whites are really in now, so that's a perfect choice to make if you're going to paint. The second thing that you need to do if you're trying to prepare your home is deal with your flooring. Now, like I said before, buyers have expectations, and at least here in Charlotte, the expectation is that your common areas have either wood or your luxury vinyl plank. I know in some areas of the U.S., tile is more common, like Florida or Texas, but here in Charlotte, it's wood and it's luxury vinyl planks. So the common areas, it's already expected that those should have that. And then your bedrooms and sometimes your secondary level can completely be carpeted. Now, if you don't have wood or if you don't have luxury vinyl plank and you do have carpeting throughout rooms that are common areas such as living rooms, dining rooms, the office, a family room, this is something that you should really consider changing because buyers are going to be impressed when they walk in and they see that they don't have to deal with ripping up carpeting and having to add flooring. Flooring can get quite expensive, so buyers are going to immediately begin deducting that as a line item that they're going to have to deal with. If you have carpeting and the carpet is in good condition, go ahead and just stretch it out if necessary and have it professionally cleaned. If it has any holes, rips, tears, or excessive rippling, replace the entire thing. I'm telling you, if you don't, they're typically going to ask for a carpet allowance or they're not going to make an offer at all. So this is an area that you really need to pay attention to because buyers are paying attention to it. The third thing you should consider doing if you're getting ready to sell your home is to spruce up the kitchen. Now, I know kitchens sell homes, and that is true, but at the end of the day, who wants to put in a whole brand new kitchen for a new homeowner when you don't get to enjoy it? So ultimately, we want to accentuate that kitchen versus redoing the entire thing. Now, there are exceptions to the rule. If the kitchen's the only thing that's holding up your sale, then you might have to consider it. But ultimately, I would say that you can change some things out and get a bigger bang for your buck doing so. We know that there isn't a high return on investment if you do a brand new kitchen. However, if you do some of these things, you can definitely see your return on investment. Laminate or Formica countertops can be changed out for quartz or for granite, and that will give your kitchen a instantly more modern look. You can also swap out appliances. So if you have appliances that are mismatched and you have some that are stainless steel and some that are white and some that are black, most buyers are going to want stainless steel. So get rid of the white and black ones and basically add stainless steel to all of your dishwasher, your stove, your microwave, and etc. If you have black and white appliances, select the one that's more up to date and continue outfitting the kitchen in that. Another way to beef up that kitchen is to swap out the backsplash. So if you have a dated backsplash or a color that's just really not popular anymore, get rid of that backsplash and redo it with something that's new and fresh and updated, maybe subway tile or something a little more elongated, linear tile that's popular today. Also, the other thing that you can do is to take your cabinetry, as long as it's in good condition, you can have it professionally spray painted and change it out to either a white color, an off-white color, a gray color, navy, something that's just more in line with today's buyers. The fourth thing that you should consider doing is upgrading your electrical. Now, this can be as simple as swapping out your outlet covers and your light switch plates, or it could be as extreme as adding additional lights to your home. I know when we lived in New York, there were several rooms in our house that had no light fixture at all, and we had to use lamps. That's not typical here in Charlotte, but I have seen it. So if you have a home that doesn't have light fixtures, especially in a room that's important like your primary bedroom, that's something that I would call an electrician to come out and see if they can add additional lights. You don't have to add all 4 recessed lights, but I would put at least a ceiling fan in that room as well as a dining room. I wouldn't put a ceiling fan in a dining room, but I would actually add a light fixture in a dining room or an office. Those are some rooms that typically may not have light fixtures. So I would definitely add that. The other thing that you can do is also add the GCFI outlets, because that usually comes up during inspection, because those are the ones that you need near water sources. So your bathrooms and your kitchens are going to need that GCFI. Also, think about swapping out the fixtures above your bathroom vanities. Those tend to have a dated look if you've owned your home for more than 10 years. The fifth and final thing that I would consider doing if you're putting your house on the market is sprucing up the exterior. So there are a couple of things that you need to do out here. Landscaping is one of them. So keeping your grass very low, edging it, changing out the mulch or pine straw if you use that, and just in general, keeping it very, very tidy. The other thing that you need to consider doing if you're selling your home is pressure washing the exterior, if it's like a vinyl or hardy board, as well as your driveway and your walkway. Another area that often gets missed is your door. So if your door needs painting, you should probably take that on now. If it needs more than that, if you need a brand new door, go ahead and invest in a really pretty steel door. I do want to put out there that if you live in a HOA community, that you need to get permission before you change that door, especially if it's going to have a new color. That needs to be addressed with your homeowners association. But other than that, you should be in a good position to give that outside a burst of energy and just make it look beautiful and refreshed. Today, I shared 5 ways to get your home ready to sell, whether you're in Charlotte or outside of Charlotte. Now, you can either decide to do all of these or just a few of them. As many as you can get done will definitely help buyers fall in love with your home sooner rather than later, so you can get those offers and move on to your dream home. If you're considering selling your home and you need help, I would love to work with you. If you're outside of Charlotte and you need a referral, feel free to reach out to me using any of the contact information below. You can text me, call me, email me, or set up a Zoom meeting. My name is Yadi Karina Jones. Thanks for watching. See you next time.